everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Happy Saturday, guys. Thank you guys for being here. So, as you guys already know, I told you guys yesterday, Mike won't be around tonight. Hoping to get a guest coming in soon. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. And then, obviously, like I said, there's no more topics. So, we're going to get into some stuff. And hopefully, you guys have some questions, some topics that you want to get into also that you may want to find out information on or anything in that regard. Also, the last poll I did last stream, when we were asking, I want to say it was Big Dog who said to ask who was getting the Obi-Wan or who got the Obi-Wan. Literally 40 people voted. It was 20-20 split. So 50 yes, 50 no, which was crazy. So far, this poll, let me see, you guys have, let me see, 80% yes, 20% who asked for this. Unreal. 6 votes. Garlics, hit that like button and make sure you vote. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. So let's see who's in the house tonight with us so we could get started. Again, guys, come up with any topics, any questions, any comments regarding whether it's, certain figures, certain companies, the community in general, right? Anything you guys want to know, wondering about, you could ask, because again, we're not having any conversation about anything. We got Uncarded in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. I'm doing. Welcome, my friend. How are you? Nice to see ya. Let me see who else is in the house. Oh, look who came. Luch, welcome. How are you?
My apologies, Fabi. The time, excuse me, the time difference always throws me for a loop. For some reason, I thought we were starting at 7 p.m. my time, but apparently But I'm here. I'm ready to talk DC, and let's talk Batman figures.
See what happens when you're vaccinated, guys. So like I said, we will come up with some topics. Luch, we're gonna go over some of the hot toy stuff that was just announced, released, blah blah blah. Now that you're here, because if you weren't gonna show up, there was none of that. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Bao. Where's Bao?
How you doing?
Welcome, Garlic Bread. Tune in to see what Astrofast will predict for next week. Guys, did you see what came up from Topo all of a sudden? What did I tell you a couple streams ago? It's only a matter of time until third party gets into making eyeballs. And what just happened from Topo? They're making eyeballs. You're welcome. Bob is upset about it because he can't predict these things. Okay? He wishes he had a chance. Oh, Bob. Let's see. Who else is in the house? Uncle says, only a garlic would move the start back to that. But I was on time. Be grateful for once. Unbelievable. Michael, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa means what's up.
Welcome. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Moo.
Hello.
How are you, my friend? Welcome. Hello, community of collectors. Yeah, just nabbed some dewbacks off the marketplace. Did you save me one? Unbelievable. Nobody's saving me. Somebody got me a dark side Anakin, and nobody has got me a dewback. Imagine that. That's how selfish my friends are. Right, Luch? Ernesto, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Hello, of course, I will get another Anakin. Every Anakin is a 1.4K chance. This guy. Unbelievable. Guys, there's 18 of you guys here. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for being here. We got Matt Planet in the house. How are you, my friend?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Hello, Mr. Fab and fellow Garlics. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too, my friend. Sir Luch, look at that.
Hello!
Albert the Bum in the house. Welcome. Uncle Carter says, Luch.
And the people love me, Fabi. I'm telling you, they love me.
I know. Watch the like counts be 1,000 today because you're on. Okay. In the time of non-stop Hot Toy Star Wars releases, the Marvel DC collector is king. That is true. I know people may be getting rid of their stuff because it's Star Wars, crazy. So let's see. All right, so Luch. All right, so let's see how the poll is doing. We got 11 votes. Come on, guys. There's 17 of you guys here and 11 votes. So we have 82%. We got 12 votes now. 83% say yes, they want another Anakin. And we got 13 now. 77% say yes, and 23% say who asked for this. So, Luch, where did you come up with this idea that there was another Anakin coming? We know that you're the Feising King. Where would you ever come up with a Hot Toys idea like that?
Well, of course, Anakin being Darth Vader, and I believe episode 1 through episode 6 all revolves the story of Darth Vader, right? From beginning to end. So for Hot Toys to give certain markets an artisan rooted Anakin and not us here in North America, especially here in the United States as a wide release, I mean, it's ridiculous. So that's why my talk and my Nostradamus of speaking about an sculpted Anakin, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. I was disappointed because they didn't announce it during, Star Wars May 4th, right. But it's going to come. And obviously I swayed you. You're on board. You're on the Sith Annie sculpted train.
I was thinking about it. I started thinking about it and I said, wait a minute. Because remember, when that conversation happened, when you were saying that it was coming, and I was like, absolutely not. There's no way. There's no way. I was assuming that the Sith Apprentice figure was Darkseid Anakin from Revenge of the Sith. Again, in the beginning, nobody knew where this was from until people started seeing on the box SWA. And then they figured out, oh, it's Star Wars Ahsoka. So then when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. So that means that the artisan Anakin is only, we only got the light side, right, from Revenge of the Sith. Now we get this dark side again. Japan exclusive, like you mentioned, right? How does Sideshow not get their own Anakin? You know what I mean? So that is a red flag, absolutely. But again, from history, from previous times, when Hot Toys had their own exclusives, Sideshow didn't get them ever. Forever, they didn't get one. Remember that all these, for example, the Midas gold chrome versions, the Shanghai exclusive, Sideshow never got that. So Sideshow was not getting, exclusives really ever until recently, right? And not recently, like 2-3 years, recently within like, 7, more than that. Because I remember some of their versions were also, Sideshow exclusive, but I can't tell you exactly when that started. But again, for the longest time, they were not getting exclusives. So because I know that, I said it doesn't matter, right? I know Hot Toys doesn't give them everything all the time. The fact that it's Japan, forget it. They're not going anywhere near anything Japan. If they're not getting it from Hong Kong or Hong Kong, right, which is Rebel base, secret base, whatever, they're not getting it from Japan. So when I saw what swayed me was that when I saw that it was Star Wars Ahsoka, I was like, it's coming. And that's when I knew. I was like, there's no way that we're gonna get light side, Revenge of the Sith, no dark side, but suddenly an Anakin from Ahsoka that nobody expected, right? People only cared about it because it looked like it was dark side and it was Anakin, right? Wait until you guys see when the new one comes out. People are going to lose. And again, the fact that it's going to be sculpted, you're going to get sculpted and rooted, it's what's going to make people, that much more happy because everybody's going to get a chance. Go ahead, Luch.
I'm excited. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case because, I mean, the first time they did a rooted and sculpted was for the Joker, right? The Arson Joker. And then they came out with I guess it would be a DX Joker. So for me, it just didn't make sense that they wouldn't release an Anakin, sculpted and rooted for, it could be obviously Ahsoka, it could be from the Revenge of the Sith series, or it could even possibly be even from like the Clone Wars or whatever. But I mean, it was just, to me, it just didn't make sense either. But I'm hoping, obviously it's not set in stone that this is what's going to happen. But I know all of us in the community are really hoping for the opportunity for all of us to get some type of Anakin with, at least movable eyes, at least.
Right. And the thing is, the reason why it's going to make them so much money is because not everybody paid over $1,000 for light side or dark side or, Sith Apprentice. So a lot of people are dying right now for an Anakin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a big hit. Anakin is a big hit.
Right. So the people who got them from Sideshow they hit the jackpot. Those who got that thing for retail are golden right now. The ones who overpaid, golden right now because they got the figure. The ones who don't have the figure are trying to figure out a way to get the figure. Guaranteed. Right? Either one. At this point, it doesn't matter really. In fact, I actually believe that the one that people want more now is the Sith Apprentice over the light side,
100%.
So when that happens, guys, I'm telling you, everybody's going to lose their minds because everybody's going to be able to get one. Everybody's going to get one, and they're going to, that's going to be the good one. That's going to be the good one. That's going to be the good expression. That's going to be the better expression. I can tell you this. I don't care how much you love these two Anakins. Okay. I have them in hand. You guys saw the videos. Those head sculpts, meaning the face, they're perfectly fine, but they are the most basic head sculpts in the world. You don't have to agree with me. That is a fact. So, and when I say basic, I mean, there's not much to it, right? He doesn't really have much, there's no facial hair. So there's a smooth head sculpt, right? Besides the scar, it's very, very basic. And the expression of the Sith Apprentice was to me a cop-out and the easiest way to get away from, having to do an exciting pose, right? That mild, dumb. But they had to do it because, or else it would have been the exact same head sculpt, and they were not going to do that. They're not going to pull that off, right? Exactly. So, so now when would you expect this to happen by? If you could, obviously nobody's holding you to this, but what would you think? When would you expect something like this?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Hot Toys, along with Sideshow, announced their sculpted Anakin right before San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, that would be the next great opportunity for them to announce it. They always, since Sideshow stopped going to these conventions, unfortunately, which is a huge bummer. But they always have their virtual, right? Their virtual con.
Right.
Exactly. So I would think that would be the next best opportunity for them to announce a huge figure like Anakin. And so again, I'm not a betting person, and I'm gonna bat for 3. Hopefully, the next opportunity will be San Diego Comic-Con to announce a Sith Anakin Skywalker from the Revenge of the Sith with sculpted hair.
Dark side Anakin.
Yes.
We got 2 in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Let me see how the poll is doing. We got 21 votes. Thank you guys for voting. Look at that, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. There's 24 of you guys in here. Thank you guys for being here. So we got 67% say you would take another Anakin. Absolutely. I'm telling you, everybody's going to go crazy. And I can tell you this. I will tell you this. Obviously, it's going to be a different figure. It has to be a different figure. So I'm already in, But let's say that it's just a sculpted version. I think I would still get it. If the head sculpt is different, just sculpted, I would 100% get it. The problem is they're not just going to do one sculpted. They have to do the rooted one as well for the dark side. They're going to milk these head sculpts like you don't even understand, and it's Anakin, right? So it is insane. Let me see who else is in here real quickly. We got Chris. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello!
Thank you for being here. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thank you, guys. Yes, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Talia, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm doing!
Welcome. Michael, how are you, my friend?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Michael says a kid Anakin from Hot Toys incoming. It has to at some point for the Phantom Menace. That is inevitable. At some point, they got to figure out how to give us that figure. And I can tell you, it doesn't look like we're going to get it by itself, just like we didn't get the Steve Rogers figure when we got the Hydra Stomper. Remember, you could only get the Steve Rogers, the tiny little Steve Rogers with the Hydra Stomper. You couldn't get the Steve Rogers on its own, right? So you could either get the Hydra Stomper by itself or Hydra Stomper with Steve. There was no Steve by itself. So I can tell you that most likely we're going to get it that way, right? I'm assuming that the reason why we can't get the Steve Rogers by itself is because, how would they charge for that? Again, I don't think that matters, but for whatever reason, they didn't give it to us, alone. But I think that it has to come with something, right? Some type of, and not necessarily a double pack, but some type of maybe the pod razor that he uses, right? It's got to come with something big, with something with substance to make him exciting, right? Yes, even if it's by himself, just like they make Harry Potter, right? The little make the little tiny, 5-inch figure for $2,000. Shout out to Rudy.
What's that guy's name again? Rodrigo?
Rowdy.
Rowdy Rich?
So that's what I think is going to happen, right? They're gonna have to give it something to make it valuable, to make it more exciting. The young Ahsoka figure, right? That orange one, she's coming by herself, but I feel like she's gonna be bigger than that Steve Rogers figure. She has to be a little bit taller at least. So maybe that's why they got away with it. But I'm telling you that Anakin has to be made at some point. It's just necessary for the Phantom Menace line for them, right? I don't know how much more. Again, they got Qui-Gon, which they could make, again, sculpted or rooted, right? I have a feeling 99.9% artisan is coming. How many other molds can we handle from a Phantom Menace? We're already up to Sith Speeder 2.0. How many more molds can we get? How many more molds do you need from a Phantom Menace, Luch?
I think Hot Toys already covered their bases when it comes to Darth Maul. I would think.
That's what I'm saying. So so they have to do something else, something different with a Phantom Menace, because we're gonna get Qui-Gon out, we're gonna get Darth Maul out, and that's the only two things they've made so far from that, if I'm not mistaken. Besides now the statue lamp, blue light Darth Maul thing. Right? So that's what I mean. They have to do something else to make the line even more exciting than just Darth Maul every time and Qui-Gon, the one time. So glad I was able to score an artisan Obi-Wan those queues are very iffy. Yeah, actually, my number was like 2,300 or 2,360 something, and I got one. I was so happy. I was like, oh, thank God. We got 25 votes. Thank you guys for voting. 72% say yes to one another Anakin. I'm telling you, everybody's gonna go for that Anakin. Everybody. Now, would anybody in here that has any of the two Artisan Anakins right now, will you get a third one? Actually, let me do another poll because this is a good one. Hold on. All right. Luch, you can speak. You know that, right?
Yeah, I was just typing away. I didn't want you guys hearing.
Oh. Ron, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. There's 29 of you guys in here. Thank you guys for being here as well. We got Ernesto in the house. How are you, my friend? I'm doing. I've Sith Apprentice, and when the Revenge of the Sith Annie pops, it will be a different figure, and it will be a good one. Yep. Absolutely. San Diego Comic-Con is on July 24th to 27th. They have time to think about it. Michael Hood says, I'm telling you, it's going to be I hate you face. It has to be. It has to be. Right? It has to be. The thing is, they're not going to give you just that expression alone. Right? They can't give you a figure that's like this. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. No Diddy, of course. You know? So that's going to be the alternate head sculpt, or I don't know, I doubt they're going to give you a faceplate, but that's what I'm telling you guys. Yesterday, I told you that we're going to get two head sculpts. We have to get two head sculpts. You know what I mean? There's no way around it. We're going to get a standard, relaxed red eye face or yellow eye face, and then we're going to get the I hate you face to display it however you like. You heard it here first. What do you think, Luch? What expression do you think they're going to give it?
I mean, you can't go. I don't know. I know you're not a big fan of the Sith Apprentice Anakin face sculpt because you say, I think you're saying it's not very dynamic, but I think it looks pretty good. I mean,
no, it's not about it looking good. I just said they're perfectly fine. It has nothing to do with that. But
it looks blah.
The work. You know what I mean? Like
right.
That's the best you could do. Just literally removing some clay from the mouth.
Right.
That's right. What I mean. It's just lazy. That's what I mean.
Right. So, I mean, it would be nice to have a very good emotional expression on his face. Right. When where that scene where he's choking Padme, right? When they get to Mustafar or whatever. I mean, that's that's just angry look, with his teeth grinding. I mean, that would be like a really good expression.
Right. If they get how happy would you be if they gave you the Ant-Man expression?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like the Ant-Man, like the teeth just looking all ridiculous?
Yeah. Like him grinning like this.
No. I mean, they copped out on the Ant-Man because if you look at it, they didn't even insert false teeth behind the head sculpt to give it that more realistic look. No,
it was like they were made. It was weird.
Yeah, they were just drilled in and sculpted within the main sculpt. Literally. I mean, they went the cheap route. I mean, correct. Yeah. I sometimes wonder about Hot Toys.
Well, no, that's why I failed. It's laziness. Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I tell you guys all the time. They take shortcuts all day, every day. And I know this. That's why I don't complain about it. If it was a problem, guess what? I wouldn't buy their stuff anymore because I know shortcuts are going to be taken. So why would I be happy if it's a problem for me that I'm paying $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 for figures that I know are going to be, not 100%. I'm good. I understand it. I know it. That's why I keep collecting. And that's what I tell you guys. If you don't understand the company as a business, You will be miserable all day, every day. You will be upset. You'll be complaining about everything all the time because you guys don't think of it as a company. Now, do they make mistakes? Of course, all the time. But it's not a chronic thing. It's not a major thing, right? Like an in-art problem, right? Hot Toys will always, till the day that they close their doors, Hot Toys will always make mistakes. It's that simple. They make too much product to not make mistakes. In-art doesn't make anywhere near enough, and they make way more mistakes on every single figure that they put out than Hot Toys has in their entire history of making figures. That's how crazy it is.
You know who doesn't make mistakes, Fabby?
Who, Blitzway?
Jazz Inc.
Jazz Inc. No, wait, this for you. This for you because it's well deserved. Okay.
Y'all don't ever disrespect me.
We got JD in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Is that you, Sugar Bumps Luch? Sugar Bumps Luch. Oh my god. The Alchemist in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
Kid Annie with Padme. With Queen Amidala, that would be sick, right? That would be a good combo. But again, Padme's a full-size figure. I don't think so. I don't think that would be. I mean, it's perfectly fine with me. But
if I had to guess, I would say it would be little Anakin with Watto, that flying creature with the trunk. I think it would be him and little Annie as a 2-pack.
See, that would be a great idea, and I'm going to tell you why you're not, too far off. We've gotten a Blurg, we've gotten a Dubak, so it's not unheard of to get an animal like that. You know what I mean? So
and a couple of the droids too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're not, it's not crazy to think that. Oh my God! Look at this guy. Where have you been?
Hello.
Wait. Wait.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Hey.
How you doing?
We missed it, Thor.
What'd you say?
We've missed the Thor. We've missed him.
Yeah, no, I spoke to him. What was it, like last week or so? I was like, "You're alive." Bob says, "We need we need Clone Wars Mall with spider legs. That is coming at some point. Believe me when I tell you, it's only a matter of time. We already got the regular Darth Maul, right? We got what's the yellow one? What's the yellow one's name, Bluch?
I don't watch Clone Wars or Rebels. I don't watch any of that stuff.
I forget his name.
We should have a hotline to call Mr. Cody when we have Star Wars questions.
No. Somebody's gonna say it in the chat. What is the yellow? Salvaggio Press. Thank you, Alchemist. I completely blanked out because I'm thinking of other stuff right now. So they're making him, right, which is a bulkier figure, a bigger figure. So you better believe that spider legs figure is coming. Now, how big are they going to make it? Obviously, it's got to be a 1/6 scale. How big is that going to translate to to a figure? I don't know how big that's going to be, but that's coming 100%. Michael says if they sold Kid Anakin 2-pack with the alien unpaid workers, owner, moms Skywalker, perhaps. No, they're not going to do mom stuff or none of that. They don't. They do main characters. They do, popular characters. They don't do, really side characters like that. But I can tell you all these characters all these, aliens that Sideshow's doing right now, at some point, again, years from now, because look at what's happening now. Everything that Sideshow had done in the past, they're getting into now. So all these aliens that they're doing now, Greedo and all these guys, Hot Toys is going to get to them at some point. Just like they're getting into the Clone Wars stuff now. Would you buy that stuff from? You're not collecting Star Wars, right? You give up on that.
Well, I'm protesting at the moment against Star Wars and Hot Toys for the fact that they haven't given us Sith Annie in sculpted form. So when they finally announce sculpted hair Anakin Skywalker, Sith Apprentice, or whatever the fact may be, that's when I'm going to start pre-ordering once again. Hot Toys will finally get my money again. The last figure that I got was the Flash from the Flash movie. It's a beautiful piece, beautiful figure. I'm a little concerned about the materials that they use for his suit because they feel a little they don't feel cheap, but they feel almost rubbery to the point where you think it's going to dissolve with time. But I mean, that's the last figure that I got from Hot Toys and Sideshows. So I mean, when they announced that Anakin sculpted hair figure, then we're back in business.
On the poll, guys, we got 60%, so 15 votes said yes, they would get a third Anakin if you own the first two, and 40% said no out of 15 votes. So if you haven't voted, please vote. I would like to know if you have the first two, you would get a third one, whether it's sculpted or artisan. Either way, let me know, please. Luch in the lab calculating how to his next in the lab. That is not a lab. Oh my god. Luch wishes he knew what H2O was. Michael who said don't forget that one method open expression on Hot Toys. Back to the Future Brown, another expression included would correct. Yeah, but that's a different story. They don't give you, two head sculpts with everything at all. They do here and there, obviously depending on what they feel is necessary. For a figure like Doc Brown, for a figure like Marty McFly, stuff like that, especially those lines, it is very, very, very rare, if ever, that we get stuff like that from, because it's not necessary. They're so iconic that you don't really need to do that. But for like a comic book character, Star-Lord, for example, what do we get? We've gotten full head sculpt, full helmet, and the part, the part partially, or the mask that's coming on together, right? The nanotech mask. So they give you plenty of different looks because the character requires it from the movie, and the character itself, you need that helmet to give it that look of his character, right? You need to give him to be able to display him without the helmet, because that's also part of his character, right? So you see him in the movie all these different ways. Therefore, they have to give you that. Expression-wise, it's a different conversation. That's why with figures like that, with multiple helmets and stuff, if you notice, expression is not really important because it doesn't matter, right? They just want you to have the head sculpt as a head sculpt, and then whatever you want to do with the helmet or the mask or whatever, that's up to you. But they don't need to give you an expression, because why? If you're going to have him display with the head sculpt, you don't need him doing anything. That's why they don't bother. Figures like a Batman, the reason why we get expressions for that stuff is why? It's a little plate that you could, it's easier to shape that, it's easier to mold that, easier to paint that. So that's why they give you 2, 3, 4, depending on the figure. That's how you get multiple expressions from one figure where it deserves and it needs it, right? But not everything is going to get, multiple head sculpts. They would lose money, and not literally, because absolutely not. But in their eyes, they would say, we're putting out this much more money to add for this product that we're going to have to make it more expensive, and then it may turn people off. So when they do it, it's because it's already part of the price. It's included. They figure that out, blah, 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 Jawa and Gronk Droid 2. Right. So somebody had mentioned Jar Jar Binks. So that's a new figure from a new Phantom Menace, right? So we never had that before. So that's something new finally. And the Jawa and the Gronk Droid 2. So that is also from the Phantom Menace, I'm assuming is where you're saying that. So again, but we've gotten what? What have we gotten multiple times already? Darth Maul. Qui-Gon once, Darth Maul twice. At least twice. Let's see. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. There's 31 of you guys in here. Thank you guys for being here as well. Let me see. He said, amen, Luch. Kid Anakin with Watto. Possible. Again, it's got to be something. It's got to be something that makes sense. It can't just be anything. We got to put the figure out. No. And if they have to put the figure out by itself, guess what? They will put it out by itself. If it makes sense for them, they'll put it out by itself. I can tell you it's not going to be the pod racer because those things are super, super long, and there's no way. If they haven't given us any other jet fighter or the jet fighters, any other planes, right? We're not getting that. Michael says, episode 1, Obi-Wan is my artisan Anakin. What? Episode 1, Obi-Wan is my artisan Anakin. That will be a day 1 pre-order. Oh, I see what you're saying from the show. I'm like, what is he talking about? Then I'll purchase a Qui-Gon 2.0, hopefully to Maul 2.0. So gotcha. Carl, hello, my friend. Where have you been?
Charlie, my friend, Charlie Brigante, how you doing?
Welcome, my friend. How are you? Well, when is Director Krennic coming? Well, we haven't really gotten anything announced for Andor besides K2SO as of now. So I can tell you, it's coming. It has to come eventually, but it's coming. All they have
San
to do
Diego Comic-Con.
You think so? Yeah. Also,
I think so. Yeah.
it would, that would make sense. I don't see why that wouldn't, that would be unthinkable for it to happen then, So now, what are you expecting this year to be different from San Diego Comic-Con, if anything?
I think if I had to guess, I would say that maybe InArt will have a bigger presence at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, considering that they have more figures now that they're, yeah, go ahead.
Last year, they were there. I thought they had like a separate, a separate thing that they did, no?
Yeah, so they were there, but they really didn't advertise or let anybody know really, other than their like followers, because they gave those people in the group, special VIP for this gathering at a hotel down the street from the convention center. But they were at but they were at San Diego Comic-Con, but they really didn't announce or advertise that. So unless you were going through every single aisle.
They weren't part of the actual show, or they were in there?
They were in there. They had a couple of figures at San Diego Comic-Con, but they didn't announce that or let anybody know that I know of anyway.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah. So for instance, they had that Michael Jackson in art. They had the figure from Dune, the kid from Dune, and I think they had some of the Walking Dead figures too. But
what about this one? Do you remember this?
Strands for the
not the Batman with the falling head, unfortunately. No.
Oh my god. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, but they have this little RSVP little gathering down the street from the convention center, and that's where they announced the little 12-inch figures, the Batmans and all that stuff that they were promoting
the
at the
Morphig. The Morphig.
Yeah.
That's the name of the 1/12 scale, the Morphig.
Mm-hmm.
So also they did have a booth. I didn't know that. I thought, their gathering was like down the street, which is what I heard, which, when everybody saw that picture that they all took together, that's when everybody found out, that's when I found out, at least, that they had their gathering down the street. And I was like, oh, that's weird. But now you're saying that they were in the actual location.
They did have a couple of figures on display. Yes.
Oh, see, I had no idea. So now, what do you think about Sideshow? Do you think they're showing up this year or still no?
Oh man, I mean, I know it's expensive renting a booth there. It's up in the almost $50,000 just for a certain size for a booth. And I think, I don't know, there's been all these talks online that Sideshow might be hurting, financially, and that's why they haven't been attending these conventions. And considering the tariff rates and everything is made in China, and the majority of their figures and statues come from China. I mean, people don't want to shell out that money anymore. So I don't really think they're going to be there.
See, I don't think so either. I think the moment they decide they're going back, I think they're going to make a huge announcement because they want people to get excited about it again. So I think if we don't hear it, I mean, they could do it as a surprise too, obviously, but I don't think so. I think it'll be more beneficial to them as a company to announce that, we're back at Comic-Con. People will lose their minds. People get more excited about showing up because now they're going to see Hot Toys in hand. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how it is over there. But here, New York Comic Con, zero Hot Toys. Nobody. I mean, they sell them, whether it's used or new, but displayed, nobody.
Yeah, that's a shame because that's how I got introduced to Hot Toys. When I first got the job here at the port back in 2007, 2008, I went to my very first convention, Comic-Con convention, and Sideshow was there, and they were promoting their MMS line, right? They're talking about the Dark Knight, Batman, and the Joker. And yeah, I just saw those for the first time, and I just fell in love with them. I couldn't believe how great they looked at that time. Now they're amazing. I mean, they look like you're looking at the actual actor when you have that figure in your display compared to 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, it's just a shame. I really hope, they come back one of these days. One of these days.
Wait, I have to play something for the Thor because wait, hold on.
And Layla, the Thor, Layla is coming. You better believe it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like I said, if that were the case, something would have happened already by now. Something. But guess what? Not a single peep, because again, Hot Toys has never. That's why I told you guys. The moment that happened, I said, do not get excited over this because this is not coming. Same thing with Jin, Urso, when Galen was out. You saw Jin there, no problem. That does not mean they're making Jin. Can they? Absolutely. Them showing her there does not mean she's coming. That's why I was able to tell you. Hot Toys, again, as long as I've been around, Hot Toys has never done it. That's why I was 100% sure it was not happening. And we're still waiting for her. And everything Deadpool that I said was happening already happened. And we're still waiting for Layla. Because that can't happen. It'll never happen like that. Again, can they say, oh, here she is, Escape Leia? Absolutely. She will not look like the pictures we saw with Chewbacca. Never. Because she has to be 100% updated. It's not going to be that reused head sculpt that they used from the previous figure, which is why they did what they did. It's very simple. And the people who don't understand that, right, who don't understand that has never happened are the ones who immediately said, she's coming, because they don't know that Hot Toys has never done it that way. Again, does that mean she's not going to be made? Absolutely not. But her being shown with Chewbacca doesn't mean she's being made, is the point. What do you think, Luch? You think she's coming, not coming?
Oh, she's going to come. In what shape or form, I don't know. But Layla is definitely going to come. I guarantee you that. That's another prediction for San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to get an artisan. No, we're going to get a sculpted Annie. We're going to get a director Krennic. And we're going to get a Layla for sure.
Guys, see what happens when you get one right? Do you see what happens? Luch has been around this community. How many years, Luch?
Man, what? 12, 15, 17 years?
Right. So he's got one prediction right out of 17 years. So now he's calling Layla. Now he's calling Krennic. See what happens when you get a little taste of the Nostradamus juice? Oh, my God.
It's coming. It's all coming. It's all coming.
Absolutely not. That I don't agree with you on. That
no Diddy.
You sound insane, okay? You sound insane. Let's see. He said, unbelievable. No respect. Because I'm more common man. Oh, you don't know what you guys are talking about. Card reviews, I hate. What are you guys talking about? That just is epic. Never gets. I will never get rid of that. And the poll, guys, 21 votes. There's 32 of you guys in here. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. 21 votes say they would get a third Anakin. So 62% would get a third Anakin if it comes out. Absolutely. I'm telling you, he is making a killing on these Anakins. Luch, how do you feel about what's going on with these Anakins? How do you feel about you being around as long as you just said you've been, seeing figures not even out yet going for over 1K. How does that make you feel about the hobby? How does that make you feel about Hot Toys and the figures that they're making as a product, being that people are willing to pay for something that they retailed at for and change, right? Let's say 500, right? For 500, they retailed it at, but people are willing to pay and paying 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I don't hate the player. I hate the game, right? I hate the fact that Hot Toys is doing this. I hate the fact that they're only allowing certain conventions, a certain amount of figures that they're selling at that location. And then, who knows how the rest of them will be distributed, right? I mean, I always felt us being consumers and being loyal consumers and buying Hot Toys like we do, that, they should have at least gave us the respect to be like, hey, those who go to the Star Wars celebration, get the artisan, limited edition, whatever. Then they should have done a mass wide, purchase, I guess, of the sculpted one, which would have been great. And then another small amount of artisan, not, convention exclusive. That would have been the fair thing to do. But I mean, maybe this is Hot Toys just wanting to create a hype, right? I mean, they're looking at how these other figures are selling by, as you like to say, $14,000, thanks to our buddy Ernesto. But it's a shame that people like you have to pay $1,200 plus for a figure that's going to come out 2 months down the road for retail. But hey, again, I don't hate the players. I don't hate you, Fabi. I don't hate Ernesto. I hate the game.
All right, guys. So let me correct them real quick in public. Okay. So number one. Nobody was happy about paying that money. That's number one. Okay. Number two, the figure is not going to come out. Okay. The two figures that we have out right now, we're not getting a third one of these two. Whatever's out is going to be completely different. So that's number two. So there's nothing that we're going to be missing out on because, it's going to be something completely different. Now, the problem with the what do you call it? The amount of money is that, you mentioned that Hot Toys is trying to create hype. If you really pay attention and you really think about it, it is not their fault. This all came from what? Star Wars Celebration. So they had this event where they had to bring product to unveil to make it special, blah, blah, blah. That's what they decided to bring to this show. So what do you mean by they're trying to create hype? In what sense?
Well, yeah,
Because remember, this is very important. They did not retail any of their Anakins at 1,000. So I just want to make that very clear. Their price was 4 and change for either one, right? So go ahead.
Star Wars Celebration is every other year. So they have 2 years to create a very hype figure like Anakin. Would definitely 100% is a very loved, favorable figure. And they had plenty of time to do a sculpted and do the artisan, right? But because they're Hot Toys and they have a backlog of 1,000 figures that they haven't released yet, they said, oh, we're just going to just whip these couple thousands together and then we're going to sell them at the convention. I mean, I guess it is what it is. But if they would have respected the collector, if they would have respected the community, they would have said, hey, you know what? We're going to do 2,000, 3,000, mass produce, sell worldwide, and then the artisan, for the celebration. I mean, I think that would have been at least the most kindest thing to do for the community, but they didn't do that. So now we have this hype and we have collectors selling figures for $14,000 and people paying $1,200. And it is what it is. Again, I don't hate the player. I hate the game.
Now, question. You obviously didn't get the figure, right? I'm assuming that the price is something, has something to do with it. But Is Anakin something that you would have wanted in your collection?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I buy the pinnacle figures of every line, right? I mean, if it's DC, if it's obviously the Trinity, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Star Wars, it would be the original trilogy, and definitely Anakin Skywalker is a big deal. I have a couple of Darth Vaders and the main figures, right? The main characters of those movies. When it comes to 1,000 clones, or when it comes to 100 Commander Codys, I don't pay any attention to those things, But when it's the main figures of those of the lore of the movies of the stories, those are the ones I collect.
Right. You like the main events. You like the main events.
That's right.
We got Nathan in the house. How are you, my friend? Happy Saturday. Welcome. How are you?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up?
Offer and demand, my dude. So offer and demand. Thor says good night, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. He said she's coming. Oh my god. Caleb, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Nice. Guys, there's 33 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for being here. We should be at 30 likes at least, and we are at like 20 something. So please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet, so we can continue the show. Now, Luch, what is a figure that you are dying for Hot Toys to make?
Well, I'm definitely dying for them to re-release the 2.0s of Jor-El and Christopher Reeve Superman, and maybe Margot
Robbie,
Lois Lane, Margot Kidder. I mean, if they can come out with those three, I mean, that would be epic.
You're talking about like the OG stuff, like the classic stuff.
The classic Superman from Christopher Reeve, for what, the 78, 79, I think it's 78 Superman movie, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can come, I mean, I don't even think you have the Jor-El, right? The white one with the Marlon Brando?
That's the one Mike says all the time that I need to get. Superman's dad. I don't have Superman's dad.
If they can make all those three figures with rolling eyes,
Never.
Oh my God, that would be a mic drop from Hot Toys. That would be a collector's dream. I mean,
absolutely. And
that would be amazing.
When you watch you obviously watched the Flash movie because you got the figure. Do you remember when he appeared in the movie? Did you think Hot Toys is making it because of that?
I thought they were going to at least re-release the original Christopher Reeve Superman. Yes, I mean, no changes, no upgrades,
Right.
just re-release it with new materials. Yeah, exactly. But they didn't. Maybe they're waiting for the 2.0, and it's going to be grand, so we'll see.
I'm telling you, there are figures by Hot Toys they will never make again, just because they made them one time. And this is the giveaway. If you pay attention to certain figures and again, it doesn't mean that they can never make them again, but just from pattern, like I always tell you guys, if you pay attention to the types of figures that Hot Toys has made over and over and over, pay attention to the gap in between each release. When was the main release of that Superman? How many years ago?
Yeah, 2011.
Exactly. So nothing after that. Right? No reissue, no 2.0, nothing ever. Right? What did they do? They gave us Evil Superman, right? From Superman 3, I believe. That was the second Superman, Christopher Reeve Superman. Again, after that one, nothing ever again. There was no reissue. There was no re-release. There was no 2.0, nothing. What does that tell me? They're never going near it again. For whatever reason, the license could be very expensive. They don't want to bother, whatever it is. They don't feel like it. They figure they can make more money on the Star Wars stuff, which they're killing it right now with Star Wars. So it could be a lot of, and they know. It's not like Howard doesn't know if we make this Superman, we're gonna make all this money. They know, but it's got to be deeper than that. And I can guarantee you that he most likely knows that he has to develop a new body for it and all these things, because remember that old body is from years ago when Hot Toys was not at the level that they are now. and anybody that they any body that they decide to design for this Christopher Reeve, it's going to be incredible. Now, with all the silicone stuff, can you imagine a silicone Superman right now?
That would be nuts and expensive.
That'd be crazy, and that would be the only way to do it. That would be the only way to do it, to get that, because remember, he was not a muscular Superman. His arms were very thin, very lean. So they could get away with a silicone that is not a muscular silicone, and you don't have to, get into the suit for anything. That would be ideal, but I'm telling you, they're not going anywhere near those figures ever again. Ever again.
Well, we'll see. We'll wait and see.
No, I'm wait and see. You just said 2011. What year are we in? So what are you waiting for? How much longer you think you're gonna wait?
Honestly, if I had to pinpoint or put my finger on a figure that they will not reproduce, I would say would be the Alex Murphy from RoboCop. I mean, I think that's definitely one that they would never do for the fact that it's Alex Murphy. I mean, RoboCops, yeah, they just came out with RoboCop 3.
Correct. That's my point. So figures like that, you're saying it right now. You already know they would never make it again.
Right. But I mean, when it comes to Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman, I can see them making that again, 2.0 with rolling eyes and everything. Maybe even a better Fortress of Solitude. Or maybe even his little crystal base where he would put the green and the white, to summon, Jor-El on the big screen or whatever. I can see that happening. I could see that.
That would be ideal, but it ain't going to happen. I'm telling you, I would be down for all of it. It ain't going to happen. Again, there hasn't been the slightest tease that it was coming. And the fact that he appeared in The Flash and they didn't even bother with that.
That would have been a good opportunity, yes.
Exactly. And that's my point. So if they didn't do it then, what are you waiting for?
I don't know, Fabi. I'm just too much of a glass is half full type of person. I'm an optimist, and that's my problem. That's my problem. I'm just happy-go-lucky, I guess you can say.
Oh my god. Ron says, "Give me Chris Reeve, Superman, and Justice League Aquaman 2.0." Yeah, I think we need a new Aquaman at some point. I think that's gonna be a figure that we're gonna get Artisan as well. Just wait. Once things Justice League Snyder Cut, Martian Man Hunter would be an awesome release from Hot Toys. Did you see the third-party one, Michael? They did a third-party one. It's not great, but it's better than not having one, And I believe it came with 2 head sculpts too. Big Rip, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
How you doing?
Nice to see you. Welcome. Yosu's looking into Linda Carter Wonder Woman, but said the rights are difficult for her. Yep. That would be a nice figure, but again, it ain't going to be good. It's crazy how his stuff is already up for pre-order, and there hasn't been a single final prototype shown.
Yeah, I'm telling you, those Jazz Inc. supporters, those customers of his, I mean, they're unbelievable.
The cult you're talking about?
They have confidence in that guy. It's unbelievable. I mean, I would like to see a prototype before I make a purchase.
Here's the worst part. They have all this confidence when they keep getting let down after letdown after letdown after letdown. And they just say, this one's going to be good. Yo, it is incredible.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that 89 Batmobile that, Nefty keeps, hollering about. I mean, for the price that it was and for the defects that it has, I mean, I can't believe, they were able to let that thing go out the door with mold marks. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And again, and this is the even dumber part of those people that, like in those groups and stuff. Yo, they defend this company like the company's like paying them to defend it. Like they could do no wrong. There's even if you show them, look, it's messed up. It's your fault. It's mind-blowing. Caleb says, I mean, Internet will release their Reeves Superman in about 6 years. and that is, that is kind of upsetting that's the company that, would be doing it, because I would love to get one. Obviously it's been forever. I would hope and assume and think that they would do a decent job on it, right? I don't expect anything, rooted from them. I don't want it. But if they do sculpted, I would want a Superman figure from them. I believe I saw their head sculpt, if I'm not mistaken, and it didn't look great. So they would have to fix that. And even if it came out looking perfect, I wouldn't buy it because I know what to expect from the company. So that's why it would be upsetting. That's why it would be depressing for me, because everybody would buy one and I would be just staring at it from afar, again, on purpose, because I know it's not going to be a good figure at all. It's not going to be a good quality anything from Inart. Would you buy from Inart, Luch?
If the price was right. I mean, I'm not going to be dropping 3 times the price for one figure when I can get it from Hot Toys. I mean, it's to me, it's all about economics and money. I mean, this hobby's already expensive as it is. If we're dropping now $350, plus tariff on top of that. So it has to be a figure that I love, a character that I grew up watching. It has to be nostalgic for me. That's the only way I'm going to start picking up these figures.
JD, how are you? Does anything can happen? Random announcement: Chris Reeve, Superman with 2 head sculpts. I mean, again, like you said, anything is possible, but because of the amount of time that has passed already, not looking good at all. Again, Lucha said 2011. What's that? 14 years with not a single, not even, like I said, not even a reissue, not even a 2.0. That's because those brands, those licenses, they have value, they're special, and so it's got to be something behind it. There's got to be something behind it because it doesn't make sense. True. Hello. Remember, you said this is not your burner, Luch?
Yeah, Chucho, I apologize.
I really thought it was your burner, believe it or not. When you said it's not my burner, I really thought it was.
Yeah, and I'm also looking for MS Worm Girl. We haven't heard from her in a while. I'm concerned. And Thomas Jones. We haven't heard from Thomas Jones either,
Oh, yeah, Thomas Jones is gone. That's probably my most wanted figure, Linda Carter Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's great. Another great one. Lou Ferrigno Hulk. That would be another great one. But who's getting into that stuff besides customizers? Nobody. No money or room for jazzing vehicles, but I did take a chance on their Catwoman. Oh my God. Good luck, my friend. I hope she is the best figure you will ever own. Okay. I hope and pray for you. Okay, guys, have a good night. Spending the rest of the night with my fam. Have a good night, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Saturday. Have a nice weekend.
That's the way to do it, brother. Collecting and balancing, bro. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, leave your basement for once, okay? Don't be like me. Oh my God. Ryan Reynolds Green. I would love that figure too, 100%. Why not? Right? If they gave it that glow effect, that green glow effect, beautiful. I would love that figure 100% just for the suit. Forget the head sculpt, just for the suit. Because Hot Toys would kill that suit. They would get that suit spot on so perfectly. So that's why I would want it. Would you want that figure, Luch?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I actually did enjoy the Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. I thought it was a good movie. And I even liked it's not the villain. I think it's one of the elder lanterns, the guy with the massive purple head. I thought he was a cool character.
Oh, Abin Sur. No, that's not Abin Sur. Sinestro? Sinestro.
So I think it is. Yeah, Sinestro. I think I'm not too sure.
The bad guy. He becomes bad with the yellow ring. Remember at the end of the movie, he gets the yellow ring?
Right. That guy and his mentor, I forget his name, the purple Green Lantern, and he also has a big head. No, did he?
I know no, did he? I know who you're talking about. Oh my God, they got like these funky names. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But that guy's cool. I thought he was really cool.
Alchemist says, I don't collect DC, but I would buy Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern gladly. My favorite superhero. Absolutely. Kilowog. Yes, Kilowog is the big guy. Yep, Kilowog. Thank you. They did Chris Evans Human Torch, so Ryan Reynolds is always a possibility, as slight as it might be. Now, I'm going to tell you why. It's the reason why they made a Human Torch Chris Evans was because, number one, the movie, right, that he came from, the popularity, right, of the movie, how well it did, right, and it's something new. Hot Toys doesn't really go backwards like that for movies like that. Nobody, not that nobody, a lot of people didn't like the Green Lantern movie, right? Some people loved it, a lot of people hated it. I think most people hated it when it comes to the critics, right? It wasn't a hit, right? So Hot Toys would never go backwards for something like that, especially as old as it is right now. Nobody's looking for that. Now, if anything, they're going to do some from Superman, because remember that Green Lantern character is going to be there. Again, doesn't mean that they're going to make him. They could, but it doesn't mean that. And then what was the other thing and then the Green Lantern Corps movie, I think, is coming out at some point. Also, they're talking about making it. I don't know if it's in the works or whatever. But if anything's coming from the Green Lantern, it's going to be from that movie or Superman. That's it. They're not going backwards for anything, especially because of that movie. If they didn't do it back then, they're not going to go ask Ryan Reynolds for permission to go get that, that likeness from DC for that one figure. Absolutely not happening. Figure says, Baby Jazz Inc. Sends you a Catwoman to review. You never know. Things that never happened, my friend. Ash, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you? Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. There's 37 of you guys in here, and please hit that like button. Don't be weird. Don't be a roach either. So, Luch, now we're going to get into some figures, okay? We're going to get into some figures, and you're going to tell me, right? You're going to tell me how you feel about them. And we're going to do it quick just so we don't bore the audience with the stuff we talked about already. So, let's go. Okay, here we go. All right, now. Where are we? All right, here we go. So now, first and foremost, how exciting do you find this? Did you pre-order this? Would you ever get this?
It looks cool. It's a pass for me, but I'm happy for those who are excited for the Clone Trooper Commandos and all that other stuff.
Wait, Luch, 1 second. We have a very happy birthday tonight. Happy birthday, Ash. I didn't even know. Look at that. Wait a minute. Happy birthday, my friend. And this is also for you. Where is it? Yeah, wait. Let me get it out of here. Happy birthday, Ash. How old are you today? 9,500 billion, you garlic knot. All right, so Luch, exciting, not exciting. And how many repaints of this do you think we're gonna get?
You're gonna get a chrome one. You're gonna get a pixelated one, and then you're gonna get one with cherry blossoms on it for 2 years next Star Wars celebration.
Leave cherry blossom alone, okay?
It's a cool figure, I'm excited for those who want it and who are going to get it. I'm happy for them, but for me, it's definitely a pass.
Now, do you see how it's very, battle damage is very beat up, is very scuffed up? Now, how long until we get the clean version of this? Well, 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks?
If anything, you'll get a different painted version. You'll get with yellow pauldrons and yellow, kneecaps and plates, but as far as the clean version, I don't know.
We're getting a clean version. That's why I'm asking you. So how would you rate this 1 to 10?
It's a beautiful figure. It's not for me. It looks like it's part of that universe, the Clone Wars. I would say it's a solid 7.
No, this is actually from Revenge of the Sith because number 1, it's a MMS. Number 2, it's next to Cody. Cody's figure is from Revenge of the Sith. So therefore, this is also from Revenge of the Sith.
There's so many clone troopers out there, I lost count.
The reason why you're getting confused is because we just got the Purge Commander with this helmet in gray from a VGM line, which was a video game. So I
Yeah.
think that's why you're thinking it's something else and not from the movie. So this is definitely movie related. This is definitely an MMS, as you can see, Commander Cody there, and this is supposed to be from the Revenge of the Sith. This airborne trooper is coming home. Cherry Blossom Trooper has an immaculate fit. That figure is beautiful. Okay, it looks great without the Haori. Let me tell you something. With the Haori, that figure is one of the best figures Hot Toys has ever made. Just from that little shirt. Okay, that's how badass that shirt makes that figure look. You cannot have the figure if you have the Haori and not display with it, you're wasting it. The thing looks beautiful with it on. So what did you say? A 10?
I would say 7 or 8.
Oh, 7 or 8. Gotcha. All right, next one. We're gonna do this quick, Luch.
Rapid fire.
So now, Commander Cody. This is
Cody.
It's not a repaint. This is they updated the paint. If you own the original Cody, it is the orange is faded a lot more than this, right? This looks more solidly painted. It looks more dark, right? The oranges at least. No rolling eyes on the head sculpt because it's 100% a reissue. They made, like I said, the only thing that they did was, at least from what we're seeing, updated paint and the phase 1 helmet, as you can see. For the original Cody, we got the head sculpt and we got this helmet only. Right now we're getting the phase 1. How do you like that? Do you care for that stuff? Do you think it's better when they add double helmets to the figure?
I love this one. I've always been a big fan of Commander Cody. I loved him in Revenge of the Sith. I'm glad they brought back Tamora Morrison for it. I actually bought a secondary, the head sculpt on eBay, so I can place on top of my Jango Fett that I put together out of a Medicom figure, so that way I can get the character, his likeness, because I really didn't care for the Hot Toys Jango Fett. Excuse me, let me just mute that really quick. But yeah, no, I mean, this figure is beautiful. I like it. I'm a big Cody fan, so yeah, I would say a 10.
10. Now, how would you display it? Head sculpt, not head, no head sculpt. Phase 1, phase 2.
Sorry, my tripod here is gonna fall. I would display it with the head sculpt holding the helmet. That's how I would display it.
Head sculpt holding the helmet. Let's see if they got a shot of it. Of course not. But yeah, that's a good look. That's how I have mine, my original. And then what I did was, obviously the original came with a head sculpt, and then the chrome one, right? The Commander Cody chrome version we just got that came with the 2 helmets as well. I got a second head sculpt for that one. So now I have 2 head sculpts of Cody holding the chrome has the phase 1 helmet. The original has the phase 2 helmet on it. And now this one, when I get this one again, it's going to have the head sculpt and the phase 1 helmet on it. So it's going to be the battle of Commander Cody's. Unbelievable. Let's see who's next. Luch. Come on. All right, here we go. We got Chopper and BD1. How do you like this repaint? Remember, this is supposed to be Chopper from Ahsoka, and then this is from the Obi-Wan, not the Obi-Wan, the Boba Fett show. And then you got the mouse droid from we've gotten them before. I think we got one from the Mandalorian line. Obviously something from A New Hope, I believe, as well. So how do you like it? Are you getting this? Would you get this or not?
Definitely a pass. It looks cool. I'm happy for those who are getting it, those who are pre-ordering it. I like the little chicken droid that it comes with, but it's not for me, but I think it looks cool.
Chicken droid. No, I still need Chopper from my Ahsoka line, but I pre-ordered this immediately. I think these things are sold out already, if I'm not mistaken. And so I ordered them right away. And so I still need to get my Chopper figure. Imagine that. So I got the repaint before I got the original one. What would you rate this 1 to 10? The whole three part.
I would say just like that clone trooper. I would say 7 or 8.
7 or 8. You like the paint application on it or not really?
Yeah, looks cool. Looks fine. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of weathering on it. I would expect more weathering, but it's okay.
It's there. I see they got like splotches of
sprinkling.
On it. Like exactly, sprinkling. See that it's got a lot of like patina like style, like weathering
Right.
on it. So it is dirty. It is dirty. It's just maybe not noticeable from the pictures because it's dark.
Yeah.
You know? See?
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff. It's like very dirty.
Yeah.
So
Well,
no,
hey,
it's gonna be a nice figure.
yeah, it looks good. I mean, I'm not shitting on it for sure, but it definitely looks good.
Now, the important stuff.
Yeah. The meat and potatoes.
Right. So we're gonna go with Artisan. So now, Obi-Wan. Did you pre-order? Did you not pre-order? Did you want one? Are you getting one? Do you not care for it?
You know, I'm not a Ewan McGregor in episode 2, also known as Space Jesus. I mean, it for me, it wasn't a really super cool look for Obi-Wan when he had the mullet and everything. I liked him more. I liked his look more in episode 3. But I mean, this figure is definitely beautiful. It has the purrs. It has the artisan hair. I like the actual wrists. One solid piece,
Yes,
no
yes,
joint. I mean,
yes.
that's really cool. That's pretty innovative, for Hot Toys to finally give us. I mean, I think it looks great. I would say it's a good 9.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Seamless wrist.
Yeah, that's very cool. And then you
No,
got the blasters too on the lightsaber, the blaster reflectors too. That's pretty cool.
yeah, like the effects of the bullets bouncing off. That's crazy. No, it's a beautiful figure. I mean, very basic if you really think about it. You know what I mean? There's not much to it whatsoever, but it looks beautiful. Which one do you like better, artisan or sculpted?
That's a good one because you could get more posability out of the artisan because of the head movements, right? You don't have that plastic hair in the way. So I mean, this one's a hard one. I mean, the sculpted isn't too, it's not that far off from the artisan, gluted.
Right.
So
Right.
at this point, it's all on preference, whatever you prefer, right? I mean, if you want to save a couple $100, go with the sculpted. If you want to have this figure lined up with the other artisan figures, then go with the artisan. But it's I think it's a win-win. You can't lose on this one, I don't think.
Right. What would you rate this 1 to 10?
Oh, I would say just for the fact it's not my favorite look for Obi-Wan, I would say it's a 9.
Now,
So it's not bad.
I brought up the theory that we're gonna get another Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, right? I think we're getting another one in Artisan. Do you see that happening or not? Because remember, we already got it.
So you're saying, you're talking about episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Right. Remember, we already got
Obi-Wan.
it. We already got it with that, with that diorama base, with the baby and
Right.
the hologram of Anakin and Palpatine.
Right. Okay.
And then the
I
broken
gotcha.
droids, blah blah blah. So we already got it. Right? We already have it.
Right.
But what I think is happening is, they need to update that. How?
Right.
I think they're going to do an art. I don't think they're going to do a sculpted version again. I think they're going to do a straight artisan. What do you think?
That's another strong possibility. I mean, they're giving us a Luke Skywalker artist rendering, right? Where it's artisan, right? Where it has the nice, gluted hair, parted and everything.
Right.
I can see that for episode 3 Obi-Wan, artisan with purrs and everything with maybe obviously updated face and everything.
Right.
And with a different diorama, setup. Maybe it'll be another floating lava droid, to pair up with your artisan.
It's got to be something different. It can't be the same lava droid that we already got, but it could be lava related. Absolutely.
Right. Oh, yeah, like a platform, because they're over the lava fighting most of the time. So it's gonna definitely, it would be a really cool platform, lava underneath that lights up. And there you go, battle damage, tunic and everything. I mean, yeah, I can totally see that.
Absolutely. Rob, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Big Doe says, do you guys and ladies prefer artisan or sculpted Kenobi? I'm gonna tell you this: the sculpted looks great, right? The sculpted looks beautiful. No complaints about it. But man, once you get into this artisan stuff, even though I will tell you every time it is not worth what they charge for any of it, but the figures do look better. Okay, they look so much better. And again, you're not sitting there playing. It doesn't matter who told you, who tells you that they play with their hair. Nobody's playing with that hair because that hair is very stiff, and it's like glued down. So for you not to move it. If you start moving it and playing with it, what's going to happen is the stiffness of it starts breaking up, and it starts getting puffy, and that's when your hair starts looking like shit. So be careful with constantly pressing it or touching it or flicking it or messing with it. Unless you're trying to like push it back to glue it back, leave it alone, because it is, once it starts, getting out of hand and getting ugly and getting puffy, good luck trying to get it back. Then you're really going to have to become a Hot Toys hairstylist. Luch, how do you feel about the whole artisan thing? I know you don't own any yet. I don't know if you're ever going to buy any. Are you ever going to buy any? And how do you feel about the line as a whole?
I think the line is great, right? I mean, we all know it's not traditional rooting of the artisan line. It's more like layers upon layers of glued hair, right? Wool hair or whatever. And that's fantastic. There's people out there that want that extra fine detail of lifelikeness or lifeness or whatever you want to call it. I mean, for me, I'm happy. I'm content with plastic hair. I mean, they make, the plastic sculpted hair, they're making it look more rooted, as a matter of fact. I mean, it looks more lifelike, I think, in many ways. But I mean, then you have collectors like yourself and collectors like Ernesto who don't mind paying the extra couple $100 or thousands to get the most realistic look for a figure, right? And that's okay. That's okay. But for me, if I want to save a couple $100 or a couple of thousands, so I'm okay with the sculpted.
Now, question for you, because this is and I know a lot of people go through this in the community. How do you feel personally as a collector, right? Because obviously you mentioned you would love your Anakin. You see this figure come out, everybody's going crazy over it. The hottest thing in the world right now, in the community. And you're like, man, I want that figure, but I am not paying $1,000 for it, right? Or $1,000 plus, whatever it is. How do you cope with knowing that, man, I want this figure, this, again, the hottest thing, everybody wants the hottest thing, right? Whether you're buying it or not, you still want it. How do you feel having to, because again, if you find it cheaper, you're going to jump on it. So how do you feel having to wait for something that you want that is hot at the moment?
I mean, it sucks. I mean, it really does. I mean, but the thing about me, I'm a big believer in all good things come to those who wait. I'm a very patient man. So if I have a spidey sense that some of these figures are going to come down the line and sculpted, then I'm going to take that gamble. I'm going to take that risk. It hurts though if they don't produce these figures in sculpted form, hence the high prices for an artisan. It really does hurt, and it sucks. But I mean, retail, whatever they're going for, the Sith Annie Apprentice for what retail was, what, $550, almost $600. That's fair, perfectly fair. But when you're paying $1,200 or $14,000, like Ernesto was selling his other three, I mean, that's just ridiculous. But again, I don't hate the players. I do not. I just hate the game. That's all it is.
Now, do you see it coming down in price?
If we don't, God, I don't even like to say it. If we don't get a sculpted Sith Annie, then I don't see those artisan Anakins going down in price. But again, and we're all hoping in the community, keeping our fingers crossed that we will get a sculpted with the mouth showing, with the teeth and Sith Anakin.
So now we get that version, right? The one you said we may get, and the one I said we may get. How much? I'm trying to think what the question was. I had a question regarding if the other one comes out,
will the artisan drop in price?
That was a question. How much do you think the other two artisans will be affected?
I honestly, I guarantee you they won't be $1,200. If anything,
you think they'll go down?
It will go down, maybe not, to retail ever. I would say maybe $700-800 max
Why
after that.
why do you
After the
think that why do you think that a completely different Anakin figure will drop the price because people won't want them anymore and people just want the new one now?
I just think that people will buy the cheaper version, the sculpted one. So the field will be flooded with all these Anakins, and that's the only reason why I'm thinking that the
It's
artisans
not
will
the
fall
same.
in price a
Yeah,
little.
but even if they overload the market with artisans, with Anakins that are sculpted, why do you think that's going to affect artisan? It's not the same thing.
I don't know. I have a feeling that it will.
So
I'm
you're saying
thinking maybe because
just because it's Anakin, it's going to affect another Anakin.
it has to. I mean, I'm looking at, let's see here. Okay, maybe okay, an Iron Man for an example. When people were going crazy, well, I guess you can't make that comparison because and there's no artist in Iron Man, right?
Yeah, not yet.
So well, with a Tony Stark, yeah, no, you're right. They can make a Tony Stark
Absolutely,
artisan.
absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. That's
The
true.
head sculpt could be artisan, of course.
I just think that there's going to be a lot of Anakins on the market, sculpted, and it's going to hurt the resale of the artisans, not by a lot, but very little. But it's definitely going to affect the artisans.
Yeah, well, it usually does. It usually does, depending on obviously what the figure is, what the character is. It could be a lot, it could be a little. Obviously, a reissue will definitely kill the value. A 2.0 definitely will affect the value. So I just wanted to see what you thought about all that stuff because it's very interesting. 3 Anakins on the market at one time. That's gonna be crazy. Look, Ernesto's back. He said, "Family weekend? Forget this. I'm back." Oh, we got Derek. How are you, my friend?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up?
Welcome. Are you saying to avoid artisan? No, not at all. What I've said in every single artisan video from the moment I got the first artisan figure, it is not worth these are toys. Okay. There is no toy that is worth $400 and something over hair. Okay. We know what we're into. We know what we got into in this hobby, right? We've been around for over a year, so we know what it is. Right? We know what these figures are worth. We know what they should be worth at least. We're still buying because it's what we like. The artisan, though, now you're paying, right? Your standard figure is $285. Your artisan is $4 and change for hair. That's the problem. You're getting the exact same figure, one sculpted and one real wool. It is not that little bit of real wool is not worth $200 extra. I will always say it. It's just what it is. Now, you see me still buying these things that are not worth that money because that's just what I like, right? I like collecting them. I like having them. So it doesn't faze me. But if you don't care for that stuff, don't buy it. Don't buy it because $200 or even more just for that when the exact same figure with sculpted is $200. That's what I mean. Is it necessary in your collection? Absolutely not. Will the figures look better with it? 1,000%. That's why I buy it. That's it. If money is a problem, guess what? Save the money. It is not that serious to have that hair. If you want that hair because you know it looks that much better or you think that it may look that much better, go with the hair because it looks that much better. You know what I mean? And you have some value there as well. Because remember, these artisans are limited. They're so far at least, they're all, they're all limited. So you will always have some type of value there. So that's why they're even better to buy in that respect. Right? If you're talking about, like I said before, you're talking about the 2 Anakins that people are paying over 1,000 for. That's a little crazy to think, well, I could resell it even though they're limited. Yes, you can still resell it. Who's going to pay you over 1,000 for it? Somebody may. Is it most likely? Probably not. So when that happens, it comes down to how desperate you are to get rid of the figure and how low you're willing to go to get rid of that figure when you're looking to sell it. That's what it all comes down to. Because nobody's going to give you, especially if it's used, nobody's going to give you $1,300, $1,400 when you paid, $1,000, $1,100 used. So it's going to go down once it's used. Now it comes down to how low you're willing to go, if even, at all. Because the figure could be going for $2,000 used. And then what? So that's the thing. Anything's possible. Let me see what you guys are saying. Thule. Let me see. Ash says, well, that'd be crazy if they did Iron Man. I might be in trouble. No, I'm telling you, if they do an artisan Iron Man, it would be a Tony head sculpt, Tony Stark head sculpt. Baby went to he said baby went to sleep. He's like, family? What family? Fabs is family. That's why I charge him $14,000 for a figure. He's like,
good for you, Ernesto. Good for you.
I feel comfortable enough to charge him $14,000 because he's my friend.
Amen. Amen.
He said, amen. Oh man, Lush is here, so family. Oh man. My new plan of attack is to get the sculpted hair for male characters and audience. Oh, look at that. That's cool. That's actually a nice idea. Because, not everything, but for example, Bucky is going to have longish hair, right? Iron Spider, is that hair going to be exciting? Not really. Who else? Luch? Anakin. That's a nice one because he's got decent, longish hair. Wonder Woman, WB 100 Wonder Woman, she's fine. That looks, her long hair, her long artisan hair is fine. Lady Pool, right? Her artisan hair is beautiful. What other male figures, Luch, with artisan?
Oh, Loki with artisan hair for sure.
Who?
Loki.
Oh, Loki, right? Actually, guys, God Loki should be shipping within the next couple months. So that's coming soon on the throne from the Loki show, so that God Loki it's down the street. So we got God Loki. That's another figure that has like longish hair, so that's going to be a nice one too. What else, Luch?
Qui-Gon.
No, Qui-Gon hasn't been made artisan yet.
Well, if they would be nice if they made a
no, but let's talk about the ones. Let's talk about the ones that are already made that are even for pre-order. Like for example, Obi-Wan, right? Obi-Wan's gonna look good because he's got longer hair. Trying to think what else they could make with that.
Gotcha.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight is also a good one, right? He's got longerish hair. Jack Sparrow, Ron is saying that was a good one too. With artisan hair, but you could do without it if you get the sculpted. You're not missing out on much with that Jack Sparrow, really. So it's a great figure. I have it, but you're not missing out on much. Thor would be a good one. They haven't made him yet, but he's a good one to make. The only character I want to OG Thor with artisan hair. Yep, that's coming at some point. The problem is which version. I can guarantee you most likely the one that I would want is Thor 1, the very first one, as artisan. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think if anything, they're going to do an Avengers Thor, right? So maybe Avengers 1, maybe Avengers 2. One of those is going to be the artist. I don't even think it would be from his movie at all. It would be, a mainstream type of movie. Luch, if they were to announce one of those figures, what would you want it to be, or what would you think? What line would it be from?
Well, definitely. I think an artisan Loki would be amazing. I think it would be fantastic. I was always a big fan of Loki.
Yeah. So Loki.
Yeah, I would go with Loki for sure.
Now, as a DC collector, as you can see, we got the BVS 2.0 Batman, right? So this, for those who don't know. This figure is pretty much just like the Flash, Batman, and Batcycle. Literally pretty much the exact same thing. You get the two capes, right? You get the head sculpt. With the Batman and Bat Cycle, obviously you don't get a head sculpt, but you get both cowls, right? The standard one and then the one that you could articulate. So this is, I'm going to show you what I mean. So this is the standard one, right? It's one piece, and then you get the one that you could rotate again, like the Batman and Bat Cycle one. I'm going to show you guys in a second. Here's the standard one. He's using the eyes for pose. And then let me show you guys the other one, because it is really, oh, there it is. So now that he's turning his head, I think that's it. I want to show you guys the whole package. No Diddy, of course. Come on, where is he? How come he's not turning his head? All right, I know what I got to do. Let me see if it's here. Because I want to point out this for you guys to look at for 1 second, because it is very important. Because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I already plan on using this head sculpt on that Batman and Bat Cycle figure, because I have two of them. So that's why I'm pointing this out. So as you can see right here, the main picture, see how his entire head is turned? This is because it comes with the second setup, see, rotatable cowl, same exact thing that the Batman with Bat Cycle came with, right? So he came with the standard, non-articulated one, and then he came with the magnetic one that you could turn left and right. So the whole point is, I will most likely be able to use this head sculpt from this 2.0 figure on that Batman and Bat Cycle figure, because it's pretty much, it looks like it's going to be the same type of setup. Now, Luch,
the only problem, Fabi, is that the Batman and Bat Cycle, it's a different color tone. It's more of a bluish color. This one is definitely black, but I mean, you can still get away with it.
Well, no, what I'm talking about is the head sculpt, using the head sculpt.
Oh, the head sculpt, the Ben Affleck.
Yes, right.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, that'll definitely work. I thought you were talking about the cowl one.
No, the head sculpt, because the reason I'm pointing it out is because I could guarantee you is most likely the same exact 2.0 body. That Batman and Bat Cycle body is a 2.0, bulky, muscular body. It's a brand new body. It's a tall body. Again, guaranteed. It's a 2.0, same exact body as this. Obviously, different suit for the outside, but I will most likely be able to use that same head sculpt. Like I said, I'm going to try it when it comes out, because I think it's going to work. The fact that I have two Batman and Bat Cycles from the Flash movie, right? I don't want to use a head sculpt on this and waste the Batman look. That's why I'm already planning on using it on the other one. Now,
look at you, Fabi, creating. Good for you.
Oh my God, you don't even know. I learned from the best. So how do you like the figure? Are you excited for this? Are you getting this as a DC collector?
This is a 10 out of 10. I think Hot Toys hit it out of the park. I mean, you get all these accessories, you get all these different ways of posing Batman. And again, like we were talking, you get the magnetic head where you have vast articulation, and then you get the standard one. And God, look at the difference between the two in size. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's totally a new figure. So you have to get the new one if you want to display, I guess, the Justice League, because they're all going to be redone and they're going to come in different sizes now. So yeah,
well, exactly. So remember what I've been telling you guys from the moment this was announced. Wonder Woman 2.0, right? Silicone body, most likely artisan hair, right? Not necessarily, but maybe. She's coming, right? We may get a standard version, we may get an artisan version for her. And Superman, obviously, is also getting a 2.0 upgrade as well. So what do we get from that line, right? We got armored Batman. We got the black chrome armored Batman. We got the battle damage armored Batman. We got the regular Batman. We got Wonder Woman, and we got Superman, right? So what are we getting so far as a 2.0? Armored Batman. This Batman, again, nothing yet, but Wonder Woman is coming and Superman is coming. At least those four for now. The battle damage figure that we already got, they included those battle damage pieces for that 2.0 armored Batman, so we're not getting a second one. So we're going to get the clean and battle damage version in one figure. And then the black chrome, I doubt they're going to make again because that was just some special thing. And that's it. Besides that, there's nothing else for that line. So there is not much else that they could be doing. What do you think?
And give
me other options. Give me other options.
I'm all for it. Definitely the original Trinity from Batman v Superman. And give us those three characters. And again, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, with updated head sculpts, with purrs, rolling eyes, and all that good stuff, bigger bodies, better suit articulation. I'm hoping, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's going to be a great line to pre-order for sure, and I'm definitely all in.
Oh, did you pre-order this?
No, but I'm going to.
You're going to pre-order when it's out and shipping? Nice.
No.
So 1 to 10, Luch?
This is the 10 for sure. 10.
Guys, you heard it here first. He's going to pre-order when it sells out.
No.
Watch. You're going to be like, guys, where can I find one? And then you're going to find Brandon's going to sell you one for $800. Let's see. Shout out to Brandon. He's been MIA.
Yeah, I think the tariffs are killing him right now.
Tariffs. Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, so Luch, guys, there's 40 of you guys in there. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. Nobody's keeping track of the likes for me tonight. Thanks, guys. Thanks, friends. So Luch, Darth Vader with the table. Okay, Revenge of the Sith. New head sculpt, burned head sculpt, new eyes, an entirely new figure. Obviously, not the body because the body's most likely reused for something. Maybe not. Maybe this is an entirely new figure because they're showing you that the last Darth Vader that was made was the 40th. Again, besides that dueling version that just came out, right? This was the last one. So, how do you like it? How do you feel about the size? How do you feel about the articulation on the wrist? Because they're showing you for a reason. And it looks like the lightsaber too. It is, actually long, longer than the MMS 700 in the 40th anniversary.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a 10 out of 10 for sure. And just that table, right, where he's getting, put together by Emperor Palpatine and the little droids. I mean, that display is just magnificent. I think it's going to be definitely an eye catcher in your display. Now, I would like to get it. I already have 2 Darth Vaders. I have the from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I have that Darth Vader with the battle damage base cut.
That's a
helmet.
must-have. That is a must-have Vader in your collection.
I have that one, and then I have the A New Hope Darth Vader, the first one with the voice box, right? Which is a beautiful figure itself. I love it. I'm gonna have to, come up and pick up this figure for sure. It's not a first day pre-order, but definitely, I would say after the wedding, I'll definitely be pre-ordering this guy right here because that's costing me a lot of money right now. But this figure, you definitely have to have. I mean, look, you get Hayden Christensen's sculpt, out in the open, and that scene in Revenge of the Sith was iconic. It was iconic. So it's definitely one to have. And you got to get that Emperor. You got to get that, Darth Sidious or Emperor Palpatine or whatever you want to call him.
Absolutely. Those figures are a must to have. Guys, there's 40 of you guys in there. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for being here. If you're not here to support the channel, please step away from the monitor before I block you. Thank you. So now, Luch, how do you like the head sculpt 1 to 10? And are you planning on displaying him with a head sculpt?
See, that's the thing. I'm gonna have to display it without the head sculpt. Oh well, with the head sculpt without the helmet. Right. I mean, you have to display it this way, on the chair or on the table, being worked on by the Emperor. So, I mean, this is the only way to display it for sure.
We have Ron says that would be cool, but I do have the other one missed out on the WB 100. Which other one, Ron? What are you talking about? With the Wonder Woman? Which other one? Oh, you're talking about? I think I know what you're talking about. He's talking about the one that Mike likes with the nice hair, with the nice sculpted hair. The one from
And
her
it,
movie, her second
and
movie.
it has an upgraded body too. I think that silicone body it's definitely better than the old plastic one, I think, or the rubber one anyway.
That new figure is not. It feels like it's silicone, but it feels different than the WB 100 Wonder Woman body. One is more like a plastic, which is the original one, and then that WB 100 Wonder Woman is actual silicone because you could feel like the squishiness of it, But that other one, that new one, is also looks like it, but it's not. It's not silicone. It looks like it would be silicone though. You gotta buy the radio so you can put battling head sculpt on it. Battling DP head sculpt. This guy. People doing that right now with I forget which figure. There you. Is it Darth Vader? Yeah, somebody did a whole photo shoot. They removed Darth Vader's head sculpt. They put Anakin's Deadpool's on it. And then he was pretending that he was like playing with the Force. Oh my God, who did that? I can't think who did it, but it looked cool. All those pictures of it. So now Luch. 1 to 10, the entire figure.
Oh, a 10, hands down, a 10.
How do you feel about the fact that now, for example, for something like this, which is $495, okay? How do you feel you're getting now two capes? Remember that for that battle damage that you have, if you bought every version that you bought, right? It came with one cape, double-sided cape. Remember that, right? Now we're actually getting 2 capes because you can't have, a wired cape without wires, right? So we're getting 2. How do you feel about that regarding value with the Hot Toys figure?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the more accessories they could give us, the better. I mean, especially if they're deluxe versions, right? I mean, yeah, why not? I'm all for it. Yeah, you're paying a little more, but I think you're getting quality.
Yeah, see, I like the fact that, again, people have been asking for this forever, right? How come we don't get better capes? Me being one of them. Hot Toys capes were always very crappy, very cheap, right? The materials, the way they looked, the way they were tailored, right? They just very, very cheap, especially every single the Dark Knight figure. The inserts for those bodies, right? Very, very unprofessional until this new MMS 772 or whatever it is. That everything about that figure is perfect. So now, how would you display this, Luch? On the table like this, on the table flat like this, or without the table at all? And are you getting it with the table?
I would definitely get it with the table. And the way I would display it, it's like picture number 1 on the left, right? Standing upright with the 2 droids, maybe him doing that expression where he has his hands like this saying no, and having Emperor Palpatine in the background just grinning, I mean, that's just an iconic scene from that movie. I mean, and I'm all about displays and little dioramas like that. I mean, I think it's, yeah, you have to, this is a must have for sure.
This is the pose you're talking about?
Exactly. I would pose them just like that.
So you would waste the head sculpt. Nice. True professional.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the beauty about having multiples of this guy, right? I'll have, the New Hope Vader. I have the battle damage Obi-Wan Vader. And then I'll have this pose right here. But I would definitely use that head sculpt on the other Vaders that I have. The actual.
Well, I mean, hopefully it works with them. You know what I mean? That's another problem.
Yeah, me, Fabi. I like to get an X-Acto knife and hack into my figures and make them my own. So
that is true, guys. If you ever see Luch making a Frankenstein, that figure is gone. Do not try to buy it. Do not try to have him sell it to you because the figure is destroyed. Okay.
Hey, they're one of ones, and they're 1 in a million, and that's why they're extra special because the Luch creates.
He creates. I got this Vader with the table $329 using some rewards. Yeah, I'm paying. Mine came out to $350-ish. I want to say with $200, $180,000 points, a thank you code for $20. So total discounts $201 and almost $202. So it came out to like can you imagine this figure is going to be almost $600? Almost $600. Luch, how much are you hoping to get this figure for if you didn't order from Sideshow?
Man, I mean, that's the only way to go is through Sideshow because of the payment plans. But if I had to cough up, close to 600 or more for this, that would hurt. That would definitely sting. But
That's exactly right. Because of the payment plans, they make it so convenient. And one thing about the payment plans, for those who don't know, being able to postpone payments is the best thing in the world. The best thing, because if you got a whole bunch of things coming out at once and you want to just say, you know what, I could hold off on this payment, boom, you push it off. Best thing you could do for you. So that's why I've always told you guys, payment plans have been the only way I've been able to collect where I collect and buy what I buy. I haven't been paying, $700, $800 for these things. Absolutely not happening, So payment plans have saved my life with this hobby, because without them, obviously not forever, right? In the beginning, I wasn't using payment plans. And I was buying cases, not using payment plans. And then it just got, a little bit too crazy. And now it's just, it is what it is. Nothing to be ashamed about. The payment plans are there to help you collect, right? So
that's what I do. Payment plans.
Absolutely. There's no shame. Again, if you got it like that, God bless you. If you could pay them off as soon as they're shipping, that's great. I order way too much. We talk about it with Mike on stream all the time. So it's just, the payment plans are a lifesaver when it comes to, having to order a lot of stuff. I am getting killed this month by Sideshow. They're planning to ship me Ahsoka the White Darth. That's what I mean. So, depending on what obviously some figures I want sooner than others, so I'll pay them all faster. If I could, again, push something over because I'm not in a rush for it, then that's what I'll do. But again, Sideshow's payment plans are life-saving. So now, Luch, 1 to 10.
Definitely 10. It's definitely coming home. This one and the Batman are both coming home. Definitely going to be after June, because that's when the wedding will be done and said and over with. So then I'll be able to focus on more pre-orders. And I'm hoping by that time they will announce the sculpted Anakin, because that's the only thing that's holding me back from pre-ordering right now, because I'm boycotting.
I'm telling you, that figure, I don't know when that figure is coming. Hopefully you're right with the San Diego Comic-Con prediction, because it has to come out soon, right? If you guys pay attention to what's been happening, the Darth Sidious, we got a Darth Sidious for Clone Wars, right? Then we got a Darth Sidious from episode 3, right? Then we got we just got that double pack, that double head sculpt one from what? Episode 3. Right? So right. we got Darth Sidious with the evil, with the evil face, with the lightning fingers from Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. Then we get another one from Revenge of the Sith. So they're continuing Revenge of the Sith, right? That's why I know, I'm telling you, this thing is coming. That Anakin is coming.
And I'm all for it. And everybody out in the community as well.
Absolutely. No, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Mitchell, how are you, my friend? Pre-order the regular Revenge of the Sith Vader. I want that Death Star Destroyer backdrop and light up base. So we talked about that yesterday. The base model, okay? Yeah, the regular, correct. The collector's edition is the only one that comes with the fancier, right, standard base, which is the one we got with the battle damage Vader, the deluxe one, right? So that one comes with the collector's edition now, and the backdrop of the Death Star, right? The it's like a cardboard cutout piece, right, that you put behind the figure. That also comes only with the collector's edition. So I know. Uncarded said he was getting a deluxe and a collector's edition for that reason, because of that figure only comes with those two things. Do I think it's necessary? I'd rather have the table, but it is cool to have that backdrop if you're going to use it. I would never use it. That's why it doesn't, I don't bother with that. And even that light up base, right? I already have two, because I have two of those battle damage Darth Vaders. I'm not using either one, so I don't really need the base either. That's why I'm good. Which version would you get, Luch? The table, right?
It would definitely be the table. Yeah, you go big or go home for sure. No Diddy.
Thule says, yeah, damn Skippy, payment plan saves lives. And yeah, no, I'm telling you, without payment plans, I wouldn't be here. I would be the Hot Toys poverty. You know what I mean? Because there would be no collection here. You know, I like those backdrops. I get those signed. There you go. See, that's cool. That is cool. I don't use them for anything at all. Not even a little bit. So, guys, any more questions before we head out? I'm going to give you guys a few minutes if you guys want to get into anything. If not, have a happy Saturday. Have a happy weekend. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. If you haven't, please hit the like button. Let's see what you guys got to say. Any questions, any comments, any predictions, any problems, any questions? Also, I was talking to somebody today about Toys for Kiddles. They ordered something for Toys for Kiddles, and I said, "Oh, did you use my code?" And they said, "No, I had to use some points." I don't get anything if you guys use the code anyway, but it obviously helps you guys to get that little bit of discount. So something that the person mentioned was, they always order from Toys for Kiddles because they never have a problem. They never have an issue with getting the runaround. They never have an issue with, not getting product. You will never. That's why I told you my name is on Toys for Kiddles for a reason. I will never represent or promote anybody that is scum. I will never attach my name to anybody that is like that is here to scam, that is here to steal people's money. Absolutely not. Yeah, and what I told them was, yes, Toys for Kiddles is great. You will never hear that they stole your money. You will never hear that they're scamming you. You will never hear that any of that because they're a business. They're a retailer. They're not a reseller, right? So they are a little bit pricier. But guess what? You pay that little bit extra for peace of mind because you don't have to worry about anything at all. They don't play around. They don't say, oh, we're going to send you an email with some bullshit. Never, never, ever, ever. You order your figure within 48 hours that is shipped. If you're now with the tariffs, he's shipping 2-day FedEx. So you're getting the figure immediately. Literally within 2 days, your figure is at your house. So it is a great company to buy. Again, I'm going to say it again, and I've said it a billion times. Pricey. They're a little bit pricier, but you don't have to worry about anything. You will have peace of mind 100%. And if you will never have an issue. If you ever have an issue, you can message me and I will get involved, just like I got involved with, other people with other companies that they were having issues with. They asked me, hey, can you help me? And again, me having nothing to do with these companies, I helped them. The companies did the right thing by these people because when I got involved, because before that they were getting the runaround, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So with Toys for Kiddles, again, you will never have a problem. But if you do, for whatever reason, message me and I will get involved and I will message them and see what's going on and help you out however I can. But that's why I always tell you guys, I don't promote, if I know somebody's doing something, I am not going to get involved with that. I don't want my name in any of that because I am not that person. We know what the whole Justin situation, we know what happened with that. He's perfectly happy with his life, knowing that, what he's known for in the community. He's clearly still making his money. He clearly doesn't care. I care about my name. I care about who I am as a person. I care about what I attach myself with and to, right? I'm not a scumbag. I'm not a piece of shit. Therefore, I don't want that around me. I don't need it around me. I'm not, I don't need to be around that. So especially when it comes to, this community and product, a lot knowing that people are getting scammed left and right or giving the runaround left and right, I knew that I didn't want to get involved with a crappy company, and shout out to Patrick, channel member, who was the one who said, hey, look into that company. And again, I would have never heard of it because it's a Hong Kong-based company. So when I found out about it, I emailed them. We spoke. Boom. That's how I became a partner with them. Again, and I don't really get anything from them at all. Pop Collectibles had to help me with my Dark Side Anakin. They helped me with my Cherry Blossom, Hayori version. Pop Collectibles did that. Not even, Toys for Kiddles. The people I'm working with that could help me because they didn't get any Japan stuff, you know. So I couldn't even turn to them for help. So I went right to Pop. They always I always tell you, they have never given me a problem. Anytime I order from them, here's your item. Like I said, if you guys want a coupon code from them, I could get one. You know, only one person said yes, so I didn't bother getting one, right? But he will give me a coupon code. He knows that I'm a good customer. Like I said, I've purchased from him at least 5 times, at least. Again, I've got my product every single time. So that's the thing, you know, I will always buy, you know, wherever I feel that I'm going to get the best deal from, but it is still scary. It is still very risky when the moment people have your money, you're at their mercy. And if they want to scam you, guess what? The only thing you should have is, you know, let me get my money back through PayPal if you paid that way. But besides that, it is crazy. The amount of runaround, the amount of scamming that goes on. And like I said, anything I'm attached to, there's no reason for you ever to be afraid. There's no reason for you ever to be, you know, nervous, right? Uneasy about anything. Oh, I don't know, you know, what's going to happen. I don't know if you have any questions, ask me. I will tell you, I will guide you, try to at least as best as I can. You know, don't buy here, don't buy. I literally, a few streams ago, I told you guys, do not buy anything from that collectors community, you know, Hot Toys collectors community group. One of my channel members almost got scammed from that group, literally the next day after we spoke on do not shop from that group. You know, so I try my best to keep you guys from getting scammed, but you're all grown people and you're going to do whatever it is that you want. Let me see if I answer my question. What is your question? Ash, happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday, Ash. Yes. Yep. With as much stuff released, have to use as many payment plans as possible. Absolutely. You have to. It doesn't matter how much money you got. You have to, you know. I just saw Sideshow made some changes on payment plans. You can pay whatever you want towards your. Absolutely. I saw that too. Yep. It says pay towards balance or something like that. So yes, that is happening. Let me see. Thanks for being here, Luch. Let me see. My Vader's gonna be posed with his arm crossed and stormtroopers beside him. That's gonna be sick. That's gonna be sick. Sick. Yes, Fabs. What was first? What was first? The egg or the chicken? The chicken was first. Okay. You had to make the egg. You needed male and a female to make the egg. But then it's like, well, where did the male and female come from? You need the egg. So take your questions elsewhere, okay? Fabs, where this guy is obsessed. You are obsessed, Ash. You are obsessed. Let me see. I know almost did because Justin, but look into it more thankfully. Oh, look at that. See? No bueno. Fast, where did they put this guy? Unbelievable. Toast for Critter has been great experience. Have ordered a fair amount from them now. I'm telling you guys, I told you from day one, I don't attach myself to garbage. I don't attach myself to bad companies. And like I said, I'd rather you guys pay a little bit extra so you have peace of mind. Again, I don't make a cent. I don't make anything. Even if you use my coupon code, I make nothing. I went to them because I noticed what type of company they were, and to be able to be linked to somebody directly from there is the best thing you could do because, again, they can help you with certain pieces, right? So that's why I wanted to get attached to any company. Patrick, brought up that they were around, spoke to them, boom, so happy with them. Any questions I have, they always answer. Any, if I have any inquiries about any figures or anything, boom. I just ordered a figure for, what was the figure? It's one of the Imperial Troopers, one of the silver one that's came out. Shipped it within 24 hours. So it's already on its way. Imagine. So they're great. There's a great company to buy from. Again, slightly pricier than anywhere else, but you don't have to worry about a thing. Where's my coupon code? The coupon code is FabsFigures. You know that already. William Wang shipped me my battle damage Deadpool first batch with no issue. So yes, apparently something is going on with him again. I don't know if you guys remember, we spoke on William Wang. Apparently he's back and still MIA. He said he came back, but then apparently he's asking for more money. I don't know. Be careful, guys. Be very careful. Sean, how are you?
Hello!
Oh, there, just got on. What are your predictions for this year? Mine, 212 Commander Neo, Speeder ATRT, Driver with ATR, Anakin 2.0, Commander Gree. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I think we saw, yeah, Neo we already saw displayed. ATRT we already got, right? Obviously you're talking about something different. Anakin 2.0, we talked about that tonight. Commander Gree, it's a no-brainer. I know Harold's gonna love that one. Harold's gonna be like, oh yeah. Faz, I have tried to use a coupon code on Kid. It says I can't. Yeah, it's you can only use it one time. If you can only use it one time, and that's it. He's supposed to have renewed it till 2027. So I don't know, but it is a one-time use only. When are you getting my? Actually, guys, it looks like sooner than later. Believe it or not, I think there's a huge possibility that I will have them. I mean, here's the problem. I can order them soon, but we all know that I'm going to have them in 2029. So that's the problem. You know, it's just going to, they're going to take forever. So I'm actually going to be trying to figure out what I'm going to do, but I need them. I need them. So sooner than later, my friend, they're coming. I definitely almost got taken by the Facebook group. I think the guy thought I was up to something because I was going to buy everything from everybody on there. Too good to be true. Then it absolutely. So just be careful, guys. Again, that group specifically, never pay anybody, friends and family that you don't know. Doesn't matter what the story is. Oh, PayPal disabled my account. You can only send it this way. You could only send it Cash App. You could only send me Zelle. None of that is true. Anytime somebody says you could only send it to me this way, it is a scam, period. Unless you know who they are, do not fall for it because it is a scam. Once you send Cash App, you can't say, hey, can I get a request for my money back? Can I make a claim for my money back? No. It's a money sending service. You're not buying anything. So the moment you send Cash App, because you're not buying through Cash App, you're sending money through Cash App. You're not buying through Zelle. You're sending money through Zelle. There's no purchase order on Cash App, Zelle, or friends and family. That's why there's no recourse for you to go back and say, hey, give me my money back. What do you mean? You sent it to me. You didn't buy nothing from me. You sent it to me. That's how they steal your money. So don't ever pay anybody, friends or family that you don't know. Don't give anybody Cash App. Don't give anybody Zelle. Once that money's sent, it is gone. You can't call the bank and say, hey, I sent this money. That's your problem. You sent it. Maybe you can call the credit card or the bank. I don't know. That you got scammed. I don't know. But once you send that money's gone. So know that. Know that and understand that because it is a fact. Oh, Nefty, thanks for showing up at the end.
Hello!
Good evening, everyone. What have I missed? Am I late on the Jazz Egg News? Yeah, no, we didn't even talk about it. I didn't even bother because it's not even worth it. We'll talk about it when there's more news. Faz the Duplex. Yeah, oh no, I can imagine. That thing is humongous. That thing, the detail on that thing, the size on that thing. The blurg is a beautiful piece. Okay, what did I tell you guys? The blurg looks like it looks like a sperm cell. Okay, it literally does, and it's beautiful. The eyes are beautiful. The teeth, the way it looks, it's a nice piece. And the Dubak is double the size, triple the size. So I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna let this do back. All right, guys. So as always, Luch, anything you want to say to the people?
Just stay positive, my friends. Keep collecting. Just focus and picture all those figures that you're wishing and hoping on. They will come. Trust me. You just got to be positive. Don't be negative like Fabby. Be positive like him, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, he said be positive like HIV. All right, guys. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.